Either get blown out or win the close ones, and the Sharks decided to win the close one today.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young. I've been covering the Sharks since 2018, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, the number one sports podcast network. We cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be breaking down the Sharks 3-2 win over the Washington Capitals as this team dominated the Caps for the first 40 minutes. Then Alex Nedeljkovic closes the door for the last 20 minutes. We're going to talk about Michael Misa, why you shouldn't expect to see him tomorrow, and Will Smith's pending return, and what this means for the Sharks roster as they continue to navigate a tough stretch here. And then we'll dig into the numbers of this game and talk about just how dominant the Sharks team was in the first 40 minutes. And then the Caps kind of came storming back here. So before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. All right, and the big story, right, as the Sharks continue the formula, right, it's either you get blown out, as we saw on Sunday, or you win every close game, which is what they did today. And honestly, this game, if it wasn't for Logan Thompson on the other side, this game could have been it was well on its way to being a potential 5-1 type of win for San Jose. But credit to Thompson and credit to the Caps for, especially in the third period, for kind of climbing back into this thing. But for San Jose, a game where, right, you wanted to see how they responded. You had a few days off here from Sunday. You got the absolute brakes beat off of you against Vegas. I know this Caps team, not the same team that the Sharks saw the beginning of December. So, and you have this massive road trip, East Coast road trip here, where you're, every game is a back-to-back before heading home and then jumping back on the road again before the Olympic break. So this was a big-time opportunity for San Jose if they wanted to stay in this playoff race. And they took advantage. And not only did they take advantage, they played some of their best hockey, especially the first 40, or not the first 10 minutes, which you would expect, but that kind of middle 30 minutes right there, end of the first period and that entire second period with the Sharks. They dominated this Caps team, and they were doing everything but scoring until Ryan Warsofsky made just a slight tweak that a lot of people, myself included, were like, what are we doing here by swapping Pavol Regenda, who was on the third line, with Igor Chernyshov, who was on the first line? So Regenda goes up to the first, Chernyshov goes down to the third, and a lot of people, myself included, were like, what are we doing here? Chernyshov's been playing pretty well. You've seen, yes, he's had a couple little fumbles, but you see him protecting the puck. He's made some great passes. And then all of a sudden, the offense clicks, and the Sharks get 3 goals in less than 3 minutes to put themselves up 3-1 after a funky goal on the power play for the Caps. This was Ryan Warsofsky just reading his team and knowing when to kind of push that button. And Regenda, who has been playing absolutely great, and Chernyshov had himself a fine game, but just knowing this isn't quite working just right. And great call by Ryan Warsofsky. Maybe he knows a thing or two about hockey, as he just makes the right play there to get Regenda, who again provides a lot of just a little bit something different, right? His ability to get to the net, to drive to the net, to score those greasy goals. And you look at all the goals that came from today were all right in front of the net. The first goal from Osopchuk was one, Dmitry Orlov making a really great play along the boards, getting out there. And then Ostapchuk is left all alone as he's the trailer, and he beats Thompson there. The second goal, Regenda makes a great play along the boards to basically knock the man off the puck, drives down along the wing, and then sees Collin Graf, who's crashing the net. Gets it over there. Collin Graf makes a great play to avoid the stick check and get the goal. And then the third one, where Macklin Celebrini is just an absolute menace on the boards, takes the puck away from not one but two players, makes a pass between his legs to Pavol Regenda, who is right on the doorstep there, and is able to score there. And those little plays there and that ability to score in front of the net, yes, the cool Macklin Celebrini toe drag release, like those goals are sick, right? But those some of those greasy goals, that's what we're starting to see more and more of this Sharks offense. And those are the more sustainable forms of offense, is right, getting the puck up close and trying to kind of bang some of those in. You're going to get the sick Macklin Celebrini goals and the sick Will Smith goals and such, but that just those Regenda and Graf and Gaudet had a really great chance in the first period. Those types of goals are the more sustainable offense of just getting it to those high danger areas and seeing if you can just beat a man one-on-one in those opportunities. So and right, the Sharks played so well those first 40 minutes, especially that second period where you limited this Caps team. This Capitals team had 9 shots on goal in the first 40 minutes. Yes, you probably want it to be a little bit more even in the third period, but that is a great way to come out and just put make a statement of where this team is headed. And how often have we seen the Sharks be that team where you only get 9 shots on goal through 40 minutes, and then you kind of put some lipstick on the pig to make it look a little bit better. Just a great performance from this team. And Alex Nedeljkovic today was absolutely outstanding in his performance for San Jose, right? Where you play well, you get the 3 goals. You knew this Caps team is too good of a team to just kind of sit back and let them do whatever they want in the third period. And they made a big charge to, they get the one from Ryan Leonard. That was a great goal from Leonard, a horrible shift from the fourth line there where they just kind of get hemmed into their own zone. But great play from Nedeljkovic this entire game, right? Even right off the jump where the Sharks just let 2 forwards get basically a mini 2-on-0 on Nedeljkovic, and he has to make a massive save less than a minute into this game. And then he made some big saves throughout. So even the first goal was just a funky bounce off the boards there. Ferraro's playing a pretty good defense there. And the puck just bounces funky, and Strome was able to cash it in there. But for those, Nedeljkovic, who didn't really face much in the first 40 minutes, but when he had to make some big saves, he made some big saves tonight. So that's all you can ask for. And, him is in the game tonight, 21 saves on 23 shots, 2 goals allowed, and expected goals against was 2.3, 913 save percentage, 4 of 5 high danger, 2 of 3 mid danger, and 13 of 13 low danger. So Sharks did a very good job of trying to make things easier and not give up so many of those high danger opportunities where the Sharks got a ton of those. And then Nedeljkovic, when he had to make a big save, he made a big save. And especially in that third period where it was very scrambly for a majority of that third period, Nedeljkovic stood tall for San Jose. And this continues to be the formula. Win the close games or you get blown out. And the Sharks won another close game today as they are continue to stay in this playoff. Not only just stay in this playoff race, but a legitimate chance to be the 3 seed in the Pacific, which the 3rd seed, which I would 100% rather be the 3rd seed in the Pacific compared to being one of the wild card teams. So but just a very nice win for San Jose, and I think a the best possible way for you to start this road trip off now that you head to Detroit for this next game against a very good Detroit team. Like, that's a very good Detroit team. So we're going to talk about Michael Misa's night, which I thought he had a very good night when was just missed on a couple opportunities, and why you shouldn't expect to see him suit up for Detroit, and Will Smith's pending return, as it sounds like he's going to be available for tomorrow. So we'll discuss all that in just 1 second. There's nothing like being near the ice during holiday season. The speed, the hits, the atmosphere, it's unmatched. Watching at home is great, but being in the building is a completely different experience. The only thing that gets in the way is actually just getting the tickets. Long queues, endless screens, and prices changing at checkout. That's why the Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing NHL tickets and experiences in just a few taps. I really like the zone deals. You can basically choose a section. Game Time will pick the seats, and you can save even more. Also, of course, you can see your view from your seats before you buy. Not that the tank has bad seats, but if you're on the road at a new arena, maybe you don't know what it looks like. It's a great way to know exactly what your seats are going to look like before you even enter the door. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL. That's LOCKEDON NHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. All right. Do, of course, want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen of the day. And thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you haven't already, you got to check out the All Access Every Dare Club. You get ad-free audio episodes of Locked On Sharks compatible with Apple Podcast, Spotify, and every major podcast app. An invite to a members-only Locked On Every Dare Discord server, which includes a group chat just for listeners of this show, as well as special all-access episodes of Locked On Sharks, plus just stuff we can't do on the podcast as well. So go to lockedonsharks.supercast or tap the link in the show notes to learn more. So let's start with Michael Misa, because, I mean, these both kind of a little bit go hand in hand, but still. So Michael Misa has now officially played 9 NHL games. So do not expect him to be in the lineup tomorrow, because if he plays his 10th NHL game, his contract officially kicks in. And the big thing with that is when his contract kicks in, the Sharks will be at 51 of their 50 allotted contracts. So the Sharks have to actually make a trade before Michael Misa is available to play a game again, basically. And with the back-to-backs, and we know the Sharks are very much kind of monitoring Misa and his usage and when he plays and stuff as they kind of ramp him up, especially after the injury, and then also after coming back from from World Juniors here. So they're going to do not expect Michael Misa in the lineup for tomorrow. So, but as for the game tonight, I do think Misa played pretty well. And, playing on the third line, he was playing with Gaudette and then with Regenda. And then again, he swapped with Chernyshov. And I wonder too, if maybe a little bit of that was also to try to kind of get Misa Chernyshov going a little bit, right? We know how those two fed each other, when they played with Sagan on the OHL last year. And I wonder if just a little bit of that was to try to get those two guys going a little bit. But you saw, once those two guys got going, once those two guys got paired, you saw a great play from Chernyshov to feed Misa, who had a nice kind of crashing the net type of opportunity there, and he had a great shot, just wasn't able to beat Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson's pretty good, right? He's going to the Olympics. He's a great goaltender. It's not like it's some schlub back there that Michael Misa can't beat. That's a very good goaltender in Washington's Logan Thompson there. But I do like you did see a lot of Misa being able to create, getting to the slot, getting into those dangerous areas that we just talked about of where you're going to be able to score goals. Misa tonight played a total of just about 10 minutes tonight, which right we're going to have to kind of ramp ourselves up here. In a game where it was very close, especially at the end. He did get a little bit of run there when they're trying to kind of protect the lead, but after kind of that 5-minute mark, they were basically like all hands on. They're going with their big guys there to try to protect that lead. So, and Misa just hasn't earned that yet. But I do think, though, for San Jose and for Michael Misa, you got to start letting him go and letting him get a little bit more and, start pushing up to those. I think that 15-minute mark for Misa is probably where the goal is here sooner rather than later. But yeah, he was, I thought he was really good tonight for the most part. He's still, I think, working himself up to NHL speed, which is fine for a guy who hasn't played very many NHL games. But you did see a lot of positives from Michael Misa tonight. So, and could have had a really good opportunity there to pot a goal. So, as for Will Smith, all signs, and I think they said it on the audio, the actual, like the radio call, say, of the game, is that Will Smith is expected to be back tomorrow against the Detroit Red Wings. I almost said the Detroit basketball. Anyway, against the Red Wings. So Smith hasn't played for, since the middle of December, where, that Penguins game where he got crunched against the boards and is now, expected to make his return right now. So, that's huge for San Jose, right? The way that they've played and kind of gone through this without one of their best players in Will Smith. I think one speaks to just how insane Macklin Celebrini has been basically since that time that Will Smith got hurt. He was on he's scored in 14 of 15 games, it feels like, since that moment. And getting Will Smith back now, I think, is going to be very massive because, one, you're getting one of your best players back, but two, I think it's going to be able to give you some more of this middle six scoring, right? And we've seen, especially today, right? You got goals from a stop check on the fourth line, and I know Graf and Regenda are both playing on the first line, but those aren't really the first guys you think about when it comes to scoring for San Jose, right? It's Celebrini, it's Smith, it's Eklund, it's Toffoli. And then you kind of go to these next guys here, and it's good to see that you're getting production from these guys like Pavol Regenda. So how'd you get Will Smith back is you can start to kind of push these guys down to their more natural spots, but hopefully continue to get some of that production that you've been getting from them as they're kind of hopefully facing a little bit lesser competition on the second or third line for San Jose. So I think for Will Smith, they are going to have to make a move. That the easiest move is just putting Ty Dellandrea onto IR, which he still has not actually officially been designated on IR. So that's the expected move. Dellandrea goes on IR. Will Smith gets recalled from IR and should play. I wonder where they put Smith. I mean, the natural is to just put it back with Celebrini, and maybe you do Graf, Celebrini, Smith, and then keep that second line or maybe it's Eklund, Wenberg, Regenda, and then a third potential line of, I guess Chernyshov, Toffoli, Misa, something like that. I'm not, it'd be very interesting to see where Smith slots in, how much run he gets. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they kind of limit the minutes a little bit here as he's jumping in, or they look at it as a fresh body, especially on the second night of a back-to-back for San Jose. But I'm really excited to see where Will Smith is and where he comes back and how much juice he can give this team right now, because, I mean, this team is playing really well. Again, take the blowouts out of it. The games against Vegas, the game against Tampa, take those out of it. The team has been playing very, very well, kind of during this time when Will Smith was out. And I want to see how Will Smith kind of gives this team a little bit more juice here as you kind of enter these dog days, enter this, massive stretch before the Olympic break. And if Smith can kind of help put this team over the edge here a little bit. So we're going to break down this game a little bit more. We're going to dive into the numbers, talk about all the lines, all that fun stuff. So we'll get to it here in just 1 second. The wild card round is here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. It's actually the divisional round, sorry. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action, because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Every game day, you can you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts you can apply to the bets you like the most. The boosts give you more juice on the bets you already like instead of forcing you to bet something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boosts make your bets feel that way too. So you can make your picks and apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Also, if you are in that part where you're looking for a new employee, you look at their resume, they look great, but they just weren't the right fit. You know how important it can be when trying to hire new candidates and truly find people who truly match what you're looking for. You need to trust Indeed sponsored jobs. Hiring Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs put your post at the top of the page and help you reach the right candidates faster. Or instead of struggling to get your job post seen, Indeed sponsored jobs help your listings stand out and reach quality candidates faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. So spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with less stress, less time, and more results. Use Indeed sponsored jobs. Listeners of the show get a $75 sponsored job credit to help you give you your job the premium placement it deserves at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support this show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed. All right, let's dig into the numbers behind this game. So we had 47-49 of 5-on-5 time. The Sharks had 3 power plays, went 0 for 3 on there, including a 98-mile-per-hour Macklin Celebrini slap shot. The Caps went 1 for 2, and then they had some empty net time, and they tried to tie things up at the end of the game. Shot attempts during that time, 44-35 in favor of San Jose, 55.7 to 44.3% to Corsi 4. Actual shots at 5-on-5, 23-17. Scoring chances, 23-15 in favor of the Sharks, 11-5 high danger chances, 2.39 to 1.57 expected goals for, all in favor of San Jose. Sharks, especially the first 20 minutes, and really the second period were great in this game. 14-13 shot attempts, and again, the Caps kind of started out as you kind of expected that first 10 minutes before San Jose got their legs under them. But then the actual, had more shot attempts San Jose had more shot attempts at 14-13, but the actual shots, 10-5 in the first period. And then the second period, it was 20-5 shot attempts, 10-3 actual shots at 5-on-5. The high danger chances in the second period, 6-0. It was the Sharks could have really, if they got a little bit more puck luck and Logan Thompson wasn't as good as he was tonight, San Jose could have really put up some goals tonight against the Caps. And again, just a little bit of puck luck / Logan Thompson's really good. So as for the forward lines, so we had Eklund, Wenberg, Toffoli Played 837, 9-5 shot attempts, 4-2 actual shots, 0.28 to 0.08 expected goals for, 4-1 scoring chances, 1-1 high danger chances. Eklund I thought was really good tonight, all over the ice. Had a couple. I really liked after the goal, right, to make it 3-2. It feels like the Caps are going to maybe try to tie this. Eklund, what does he do? He drives to the net and draws that slash there. And puts the Sharks on the power play, where even though it's just 2 minutes and the Sharks didn't do much on that power play, it just gives them one, it kind of bleeds the clock, but two, just kind of gives them a way to reset there and at least know you're going to get some momentum going forward there. And great play by Eklund. I thought he made some big plays tonight as well. So Chernyshov, Celebrini, Graf played 637, 9-5 shot attempts, 5-3 actual shots, 0.58 to 0.57 expected goals for, 4-3 scoring chances, 2-0 high danger chances for that line. Regenda, Celebrini, Graf played 422, 5-4 shot attempts, 2-0 actual shots, had 2 goals, 0.32 to 0.01 expected goals for, with 3-2 scoring chances, 2-1 high danger chances. So I don't think it was really anything that Chernyshov was doing wrong. Like, they were doing a lot of positive stuff there. It just maybe whatever it was, Regenda just kind of providing that little bit of spark on that line there for them. So Goodrow, Sawchuk, Reeves, 631, 5-3 shot attempts, 3-2 actual shots. Gave up a goal, 0.11 to 0.15 expected goals for, 2-2 scoring chances, 1-0 high danger chances. Great goal by Sawchuk. Again, we talked about that earlier. So Reeves only played like 6 minutes tonight. I am wondering, does he come out against the Red Wings and maybe they try to put Jeff Skinner back in? But we'll see. Like, there's going to have to be some decisions as you're trying to get Will Smith back in as well. So you look at Reeves as a potential option to come out, maybe Goddard as a potential option as well. We know Misa is going to have to come out no matter what. So I guess Misa is coming out, and then Goddard will probably slide back to center to help out there. But very interesting. The juggling the Sharks have to do here. So Chernyshov, Misa, Goddard played 422, 6-6 shot attempts, 2-4 actual shots, 0.51 to 0.18 expected goals for, 4-1 scoring chances, 2-1 high danger chances. So not the quantity, but the quality from that line between Chernyshov, Misa, and Goddard is what you really like to kind of see there. So yeah. I think Misa played pretty well tonight. So I know they're monitoring him, but yeah, can't wait to see Misa with the training wheels off. So as for the defensive pairs, when it came to shot attempts, so tonight we had, of course, we had Orlov, Klingberg. That pair I thought was really good tonight. Very much Klingberg tonight from Klingberg. Orlov I thought was really great in the revenge game tonight, but 17-12 shot attempts, 58.62% Corsi for our Liljegren, 52.38%, 11-10, which is actually pretty impressive considering how much those guys were really leaned on for kind of shutting down, especially at the end of the game when they were, basically kind of hemmed in that last kind of 2 to 3 minutes there. And then Dickinson, Iorio, 48% Corsi for, 12-13. Iorio had a really great shift in the first period. Dickinson, I thought tonight was a little kind of up and down for him, which you're still going to expect from him from time to time. But, I think overall, like, nothing from those defensive pairs that makes you go, let's bring in Nick Leddy at this point. So I'd expect the defense to probably be the same against the Red Wings. But overall, you got to feel really great about the Sharks' performance today. Would you have liked to them maybe have somewhere in the third period there, especially after that, so to get a goal, maybe especially after that 3-2 goal, try to make it 4-2, or at least get the empty netter to give yourselves a little bit of breathing room. You 100%. But this was, I think, especially that first 20 or that first 40 minutes, like one of the better Sharks performances today, where you're not having to kind of scramble back a ton. You really control the pace, control the puck this game, and for the third period, just you want to have more of those. You're keeping the puck out of your own zone shifts and actually trying to get that killer fourth goal there, that dry, kind of put the game away goal. So just more learning experiences for San Jose, but you'll 100% take this win especially against a team that beat you badly, about 6 weeks ago. So that's gonna be it for me tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, so I'll have a preview for the Sharks Red Wings game. Of course, we'll have a reaction to it as well. So make sure you're following along wherever you get podcasts, and of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Until tomorrow. Bye, friends.